film the Midwest Whitetail Great Plains Show. Well, that time of the year we wait so patiently for is finally here. In Nebraska, opening archery season started on September 15th. So this morning I got up real early. I'm going to head up to the farm where I'm going to meet Alex. We're going to try to talk to you a little bit about the challenges we're going to face in our area here in southeast Nebraska and how we're going to overcome those challenges and the strategies we'll be using. We're also going to show you a few of our hit list bucks. But first things first, we're going to head up to the farm. We're going to check those trophy cams and make sure those frigid forward plots are still doing what they're supposed to be doing. When most people think of Nebraska, they think of really flat terrain, or actually it's the exact opposite where we're hunting. In the western part of the state, you have the sand hills and rolling hills. Here in the south and southeast and east part, there are still a lot of hills. And the way those set up are, wherever the tree lines are, it's normally at the bottom of the valleys. So the challenges that we face on our farms primarily are getting in and out of our stands without being detected, because of the fact that when deer bed, they normally bed on the side of a hill or a ridge. So getting in and out of those cleanly is pretty tough. What we've done on the home farm is we've set up some observation towers to see where they're bedding, where they're coming out, where they're feeding primarily. And the deer that we have there are normally there all year long. So we have a lot of history with these bucks and these deer, and we know them very well. We know where they bed, we know where they eat, and it seems, depending on the year, one year they're in the alfalfa, the next year they're in food plots, next year they're back to alfalfa. It just depends on what's planted. Right, last year we had wheat, and last year the hot spot was the wheat. I killed broken G2 buck last year on a wheat on November 2nd, and it seemed to be the place to be. So we hunted the wheat a lot last year. This year what we've done is that wheat is gone, and we've planted a food plot there. So this year it's going to be alfalfa on one side of the farm and food plot on the other. The challenge that we face is getting in and out of our stand locations and our sets without being detected, because of the fact that everywhere you're going in and out, you're either going downhill towards your stand and uphill back to the truck. So what we do is we use trail cameras to really pattern these deer, find out where they're going to be, where they bed, and depending on where they're at in the wind, we'll either come up the creek bottoms and follow the creeks up to the stand, or if we have the right wind, if it's windy, one coming out of the north, we'll follow that wind and use that wind to our advantage, come down the hill straight to the stand. So it's really tricky. We've made it work in the past, but hopefully the food plot's going to play a big role this year with that frigid forage. It looks real nice. The first deer we have on our hit list is Junior. He's probably 4.5, maybe 3.5. The way this farm sets up is we do not get a lot of really big deer. A lot of the deer we have are mature, old deer, and for that reason we hunt them hard and we take them. But we do not get a lot of 170, 180 class deer. So anytime we get something with age on it, we chase those deer hard. It's just as much a trophy for us as anything. So the other deer we'll be hunting is split brow, and this deer is really wide and really heavy. He's not going to score real well on a sheet, but we have a lot of history with this deer, several years. Last year we had some footage of him, had a chance at him at 35 yards, and decided to pass, and this year we're going to be really chasing this deer. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the North Place. The North Place is sets up a little different, like I said. So the bucks that we're going to be chasing this year, it's kind of hit and miss. We do have deer that we're targeting, but we don't have a lot of history with them. And the reason for that is this is kind of a travel corridor area. If we're in here, we may get lucky and a nice deer might pop up. There's two deer here. We have one that's it's an 8-point. He's really high and tight, a nice looking deer. And then we have another really wide, heavy mainframe 5x5 that's running around down here. Don't have a lot of history with either of these deer, but you never know when they're going to pop up. So I will mainly hunt this North Place probably during the rut for the fact that it's really hard to hold deer here. We'll see what happens, and archery season is underway, and we're going to get in the stand I think tomorrow, so we'll see what that brings. So stick with us, and hopefully we'll bring one of these deer, get these deer on film for you.